My backyard was supposed to be my escape. I'm Ethan Carter, a 34-year-old software engineer who traded city chaos for the quiet streets of Elmwood Heights 2 years ago. I'd spent months designing my sanctuary, a custom hot tub with heated jets, LED lights, and a Bluetooth sound system that could hum jazz while I unwound from endless coding sessions. Tucked behind a 6-foot cedar fence surveyed and paid for out-of-pocket was my birthday gift to myself, a reward for surviving a brutal year. For one glorious week, it was perfect. Then Marla Hensley, the Homeowners Association tyrant, decided it wasn't just my night was hers to claim. It started with a knock. Marla showed up on a Tuesday, her blonde bob framed by a red VY sore, clipboard in hand, chewing gum like it owed her money. She peered through a crack in my fence, eyes narrowing at the hot tub. "Nice addition," she said, her voice syrupy with fake charm. "Should have run it by the HOA, though." "Lucky for you, I'll let it slide." I crossed my arms, forcing calm. "It's on my property, Marla. Behind a fence. HOA has no say, I checked." She scribbled something on her clipboard, smirking. "Community spirit matters, Ethan. Sharing builds bonds." She sauntered off, Leah VYing a knot in my gut. 2 days later, I found fresh flip-flop prints in the wet concrete near the hot tub's base. My security camera caught the culprits, Tina and Greg, a couple from down the street, scaling my gate in bathrobes, giggling as they splashed into my tub. I called Marla. "Oh, that was me," she said breezily. "Told them they could try it. Thought you'd be fine with it, sharing's good, right?" My grip tightened on the phone. "No, Marla. That's trespassing." She laughed. "Relax, it's just water." It wasn't just water, it was my peace, my space, my retreat. I hung up, seething. I upgraded the lock, added a second camera, and slapped a private property no trespassing sign on the gate. I thought it'd end there. I was wrong. Marla didn't respect boundaries, she demolished them. The real invasion came a month later, after a weekend trip to see my sister. I hadn't told anyone I'd be gone, but Marla noticed my car missing. When I got home that Saturday, laughter and music hit me before I even reached the backyard. It was a party. My hot tub bubbled with strangers, Marla lounging in a neon orange bikini, a glass of rose raised like a scepter. A sunburned guy in lime green trunks poured her more wine, while Tina and Greg splashed nearby. Balloons bobbed on my patio chairs, a table sagged under chips and dip, and fairy lights twinkled across my fence. My fist clenched. I hadn't even used the tub yet, and here it was, hijacked by Marla's crew, her sandal dangling over the edge, brushing the temperature sensor. She spotted me and waved, shameless. "Oh good, you're back. We were saying how lucky Elmwood is to have a communal spot like this. Hope you don't mind we brought cups." The guy chuckled, and Tina grinned like we were buddies. "Communal? This was my yard, my investment." I didn't yell. I turned, walked inside, and shut the door. My hands shook not with anger, but with a spark of something sharper. Retribution. I've always had a knack for quiet revenge, and Marla had just lit the fuse. I grabbed my phone and called Lucas, a college buddy who worked in a dye lab. "That purple tracer stuff you mentioned," I said, grinning. "Still got it." Lucas laughed. "Safe, legal, and turns water into a grape explosion?" "Yeah. How fast do you need it?" I glanced at the tub through the window. "Fast." The package arrived 3 days Latera plain box with a note. "For fun, L." Inside was a VYL of colorless powder. At room temperature, it vanished in water. Heat it past 98 degrees, me tubs setting in, it bloomed in a screaming purple, clinging to skin for days. Non-toxic, water-soluble, perfectly legal. I tested it that night, stirring a pinch into a bucket. Clear as glass until I added boiling water. Seconds later, it swirled into a VY-olent. I dipped a rag now, a dripping plum. Even after rinsing, the color stuck. I grinned. This was gold. My tub had an additive pod slot for spa scents. I mixed the dye into a capsule, slid it into the system, and tested it. The water stayed clear until the jets warmed it. My gloved finger emerged a radiant purple. Perfect. Now the bait. Marla couldn't resist an empty house. I parked my car 2 streets over, posted a vague beach photo online, weekend VY best, and left a sunscreen package on my porch. Then I camped in my office, camera feed up, waiting. Sunday afternoon, the gate creaked. Marla strutted in, beach bag swinging, speaker blasting pop, a bottle of sparkling water in hand. Tina, Greg, and 3 others trailed her Paul with his vape, and 2 women I didn't know. Greg fired up the jets, Tina tossed floaties, and Marla sank in, sighing like a queen. "This is why we need community spaces," she said loudly. "Ethan's too selfish to share." I smirked, watching. 5 minutes of splashing, then chaos. Paul lifted his arm. "Why's my skin purple?" Tina shrieked, her legs plum-colored. Marla stood, gasping as her hands glowed violet, her bikini a screaming shade. "What the hell?" Greg slipped, crashing into Paul. Tina ran, yelling about poison. Marla, dripping purple, pointed at the tub. "Sabotage! That tech freak did this." They scrambled out, smearing dye on towels, tripping over floaties. Paul face-planted into the grass. Marla shrieked orders, a purple dictator in chaos. I saved the footage, grinning. Act 1 complete. By Monday, Elmwood buzzed. The group chat erupted memes of Marla as a grape, purple rain captions. She didn't call, but Tuesday brought an HOA complaint, chemical assault, and hostile behavior, or she demanded an emergency meeting. Game on. She showed up in a long-sleeved shirt, dye peeking at her wrists, ranting about me. I handed out my property survey, permit, and the footage. The board watched in silence as Marla's invasion played out. Tom, her ally, muttered, "You climbed his fence?" Her community trust excuse flopped. Complaint dismissed, 6-1. She escalated. Wednesday, a county health complaint claimed my tub was a biohazard. Inspector Jeff arrived, clipboard in hand. "Chemical misuse report," he said. I showed him the tub, the dye's safety data. He tested the water, shrugged. "Non-toxic, temporary. You're clear." As he left, he grinned. "This HOA's got a rap sheet on permitted events." Funny how that works. That sparked something. I dug into HOA records online. Jackpot. Marla had skimmed funds for years, fake invoices, payments to her brother-in-law's company. I printed the best pages and pinned them to the community board at night. By morning, they were gone, but the whispers started. Pressure mounted. Neighbors demanded an audit. 2 board members quit. Marla tried a Unity Day, picnic-free food, bounce house, raffle. I called Jenna, a county inspector friend. She showed up, spotted violations, no permits, unsafe food, electrical hazards, and shut it down. Marla's smile cracked as guests left. Then the lawsuit. She sued me for emotional distress, claiming the dye caused social harm and a skin condition, with photos of her faintly purple hands. My lawyer, Alex, laughed. "We're countersuing trespassing, defamation. Bring the footage." The courtroom was packed, neighbors, reporters. Marla's lawyer spun a VY Tim tale, but Alex dismantled it. The footage played her fence climbing, the party, the dye. Property records proved my ownership. The audit showed her fraud. Jenna's affida VYT detailed the picnic violations. Marla's testimony awkward tears and lies fell apart. The judge ruled. Case dismissed. Countersuit granted. She owed damages, fees, and an apology she'd never give. She left, pale, defeated. Marla vanished, rumors said, Ohio. The HOA elected Carla, a no-nonsense president who vowed to stay out of yards. My tub sat quiet, mine again. I kept the dye pod in a jar for emergencies. At a barbecue later, someone asked if Marla turned purple. I sipped my beer, only where it mattered. Laughter rang out, and my backyard felt like home. Peace, purple and hard-won. If you were the one in this story, how would you react? Would you stand up and fight back, or accept the unreasonable pressure and control from the HOA? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this VY Deo with more people. Your small action gives us the motivation to keep bringing you more intense and engaging stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next VY Deo.